You're also very critical of what you call big green, one billionaire environmentalist in particular. You suggest that Richard Branson is a bit of a hypocrite.
Well, I have a section of the book called Magical Thinking, and this is the sort of stories that we've been telling ourselves that allow us not to look in earnest at this problem and do what needs to be done, do the hard work that needs to be done. And the three myths I tackle are: the market will save us, the billionaires will save us, these benevolent billionaires like Richard Branson and Bill Gates, and the other is that technology will save us, that there'll be some techno fix that'll come in at the last minute, the geoengineers will figure out a way to dim the sun, and so I look at each of them in turn. And so yeah, I go after Richard Branson because I think he's a really interesting case study. I mean, people probably forget this by now, but in 2006, he made this very splashy announcement in New York at the Clinton Global Initiative that he was going to divert all of his profits from his airlines and his trains and other parts of his empire that were burning carbon and fueling the climate crisis, that he was going to divert them into developing a form of fuel that didn't have, that didn't emit carbon, and other technologies that would solve the climate crisis. And he made this commitment that it would be $3 billion in the next decade. And so, we're almost out of time. We're 8 years into the pledge, and he's nowhere close. His finances are pretty opaque. It's hard to get a straight answer out of him. I failed. I did get an answer out of him, but it wasn't a straight one. But he's, maybe 300 million. It's not even close to to 3 billion. And basically what he's done is he's sort of hedged. He's invested in a bunch of green technologies. It's not charity. It's, he's diversifying.
But isn't that a good thing?
Well, okay, here's where it's not a good thing. Because while he has not done what he got a huge amount of praise for promising to do, he has launched at least 3 new airlines. He's put about 150 new planes into the air, and his carbon emissions just from his airlines are up 40%. So the argument I make is let's grant that Richard Branson really meant it, that he actually wanted to do this. To me, it just shows that the idea of leaving this to the market, leaving this to a charity model, leaving this to the goodwill of business, is not going to get us there. So it's not about saying Richard Branson's a bad guy, Richard Branson's a hypocrite. It's about saying if we want the profits from fossil fuels to go into funding this green transition, which is a basic polluter pays principle that I think that we need to embrace, we're going to have to make them do it. We're going to have to regulate it. And that's what our governments have been unwilling to do. So I'm thankful to Richard Branson for showing that to us so clearly.